Welcome back to the PPR Hot Lap and Setup Guide series. This is Kermit, and this week we are riding on board with SloppyMcFloppy at Interlagos in Brazil, as he crosses the start-finish line on a short run down into Turn 1. Turn 1, a sharp left-hand turn that falls away from you, doing well to keep his traction. Clips the apex at Turn number 2, and on to Turn number 3, the long sweeping left-hander. Using all the track he can, getting to the outside, activating DRS down the first long straight. Down into Turn 4, he brakes around the 50-meter board, cuts in with an early apex, gets on the throttle all the way through Turn 5. Short run down to Turn 6, positions his car on the left of the track, cuts into the apex, only scrubbing off a little bit of speed, keeping in the throttle through the rest of Turn 6 and 7. Into Turn 8 here, sharp right-hand turn. Turn 9, the hairpin to the left, very high-speed hairpin. Turn 10, a sharp hairpin to the right. Long sweeping left-hander of Turn 11. Down to Turn 12, braking just before the 50-meter board. And puts the pedal to the metal around Turn 13, Turn 14, and continues down the straight. Activates DRS just before Turn 15. Keeps his foot down all the way around through the start-finish line. There you have it. That is the lap, and now on to our setup. For the aero package, we're running a 2.7, making sure to keep those back tires stuck firmly to the ground, but giving the front wing as little aero as possible to keep the speed up down the straights. For the transmission, we have 68% unlocked on throttle and 62% off the throttle. Front camber, we have minus 2.5 degrees, rear camber, minus 1.1, front toe, 0.05 degrees, and rear toe, 0.2 degrees. For the suspension, we have the front suspension all the way soft. We want to keep those tires engaged with the track as much as possible through the long sweeping turns of Interlagos. The rear suspension, we have relatively soft at a 4, along with the front anti-roll bar at a 4, again, to keep those front tires on the track. The rear anti-roll bar at a 9 to get the power down out of those corners and get us as much traction as possible on those long straights. Front ride height, we have at a 3, and the rear ride height, we have at a 4, to absorb the many grade changes that we have at Interlagos, but still low enough so we can carry the speed through the long straights. Brake pressure set at 84 to give us enough response in those brakes. Front brake bias at 54% so we can get the nose to turn in without locking up our tires. Front tire pressure at 21.4 psi, giving us a larger contact patch and allowing the front of the car to dive into those longer sweeping turns as we need it to. Rear tire pressure set somewhere in the middle at 21.5 psi, allowing us to get a decent amount of traction and decrease our rolling resistance just enough to keep our speed up down those straights. This has been our PPR Hot Lap and Setup Guide. Thank you to SloppyMcFloppy for driving us around today. Again, this is Kermit, and we'll see you next week.